Welcome back. Today we will talk about function and what's the functions and how we can use the function. Okay. For example, if you look at the first main function that we are using all the time, it's a function. So the function is start out with a fun, then the name of the function, then the argument if have one and passing inside. For example, if I will have a function here, which I will just call it fun, and then I will name something and put something inside here. For example, I say update UI, for example. Then I will say open and close like this, then curly bracket, and inside this curly bracket, whatever is called, whatever is say, it will show when I will call this function. So for example, here I will say print, println I just update my UI. So this is a function. If I will call this update function, update UI, and if I will run that, if you see how it's changed the color, that means this particular function is called somewhere. So if I will run that, then this print will show up because this is inside the functions. Then the functions will call this print line. So whatever is put inside here, we're going to do as well. So you can have a logic to it, and you have to update your UI as well. Okay, let's make a new functions. For example, if I will say fun, so start out with fun, then you will name the function. So for example, my name, okay, then we will put inside these functions an argument, which is for example, I will put name inside here, and the name is of type string. Okay, then we will call that thing. So now if I will print this one out, I can say my name is then $sign name. So the name here is called, we can call it inside anywhere inside this function. Okay, and this name, it can be accessed outside these functions. So for example, here inside outside this function, we will call this my name function, and you can see right now it's give me an error and say there's something here missing. You have to put it there. So simple enough, you will put the double quote there, then it will show it like this. And if I will pass in my name, and if I will print, now it will print my name as whatever I put it inside here, it will show up in the print line. So let's play and see what we're gonna show. You see? And in the same time, you can pass in more data, like for example, with a comma you will separate it. Then you can say age, for example, and this one is type of integer. Okay, the second part is type of integer. Then what I can do here inside the string value, I can do the comma, and then I say I am, then $sign age, years old. So if you look at here again, we will get error, and the error is say, okay, this is the value passed in have one parameter or one argument less than the one that we have here. And sure enough, if you look at here, we have two parameters instead one, which is one of them name and another one is age. So I have to pass in the age parameter, which should be an integer, and the integer I can just simply put 30 and any integer number, and I can play that, and we are good to go. Okay, this is like this. Then something else for example, if I will remove this argument, okay, here, let's not remove the argument, and we have something else. For example, we have this function, but this function have some information inside, but we need to return something outside. So for example, in this case, if you wanted to return a string value, so all you have to do, just do the this separations with sign, then say string. And right now, if you look at here, it's give you an error because it say these functions need to be return something. So the something is returned, it should be a string value. Okay, so sure enough, we can say var, let's say string equal to, and we can pass in this data in here. Okay, like that. Oh. Okay, then sure enough, this is a string value, right? And now what we can do, we can say return this string name, which is a string value, and see right now the function is okay because we have no problem, and this function is need to return something, and the return value is a string. So later on we can use this string value for something like, for example, if I will make a variable, okay, variable's name, for example, equal to a string value, and now if I will call this name equal to my name, and if I will pass in the name parameter and the age parameter, which the age is integer, and you can see there is no problem with that because the return for this particular function is string. So the return, it can be return string, it can be return boolean, it can be return integer, whatever kind of information you are returning inside this function, or what kind of information you need to return in this particular moment, this is what you will get outside the function. Okay, and we will talk about this in depth when we go into the applications and start out with creating application, and it will make sense to you there, and you can see how easy it is to use the function to clean up your code and make thing adapted from the other class that have these functions, and you can use these functions inside your class and use these functions, just call one time. Instead you write like 10-20 line of code, and you will finish it with one line of code, and you will not have to deal with repeating yourself many times. Okay, thank you for watching. I will be continue in the next one.